Trust you guys are doing great. Now, this video I'll be talking about what you can do if you're planning to come to Canada for conventions and conferences. Since the things are getting better and now people are starting organizing in-person conventions and conferences as apart from the virtual conventions and conferences that people have been organizing. Now it's already possible for people to come to Canada as a tourist from US. If you're a US citizen and a permanent resident. Now by September 7th, the US, the Canadian border is expected to be open for all the vaccinated tourists, obviously barring the non-vaccinated, non-essential travelers. And now public health measures on international travels are determined by the federal government. However, it is applied nationwide. However, every province can have their own public health measures on COVID-19, and before coming to Canada anytime during this pandemic, you have to check all the measures in the province that you're going. Please do not generalize. Something which is okay for Ontario might not be okay for Alberta, and again it's same for all the other provinces. So please make sure that you follow all the protocols and you take all the measures. Now attendees and presenters, they require different documents for coming here. Now a person who is coming to Canada to attend a conference, you will need an authorization like an ETA or a temporary resident. Now ETA is electronic travel authorization. Now this is something that you need to just fill a form online. If you want a link for this, it will be in my description. It only takes a few minutes to complete this. It will cost you $7 Canadian, and these ETAs are granted within minutes of applying, so you don't have to wait for like days or hours, and you just fill it and you'll get to know that you have been granted this or not. But again, in some cases it can take days to process. So it's not that if you were not granted within minutes that means you're rejected. No, it can take few days, so that's okay. And only a US permanent resident or a citizen or of a listed country can apply for an ETA. Currently there are about 60 eligible countries to it includes UK, France and Australia. So again, the link the list of the 60 eligible countries can be found in my description, so you can just take a look and see if your country is eligible or not. Now second, like I said, there are two ways: temporary resident visa. Now TRV, again in all of the cases a TRV, you need to apply for a visitor visa. Now this is also sometimes known as a temporary resident visa, which basically usually the visitor's visa lasts for 6 months, but the validity can be adjusted, right? Like the ETA, you can also apply for a visitor visa online if you're coming to Canada to present a work at your conference. Let's say it lasts for 5 days or less, and he needs to have an authorization to come to Canada, and they do not need a work permit because you're not working here. Come on, I mean, you do not need to apply for a work permit or get a job letter or something. You just need to have a proof that you're presenting something here, and then you can be here. So you will be considered a business visitor here, and you will still need a visitor visa or a ETA depending on which country they are coming from, right? Remember, the list of countries which are approved will be here in my description, so you can take a look at that. Now a person who's coming to Canada to present a work at a conference lasts for 5 or more days. That's what I've just told you about the authorization, and it is not like visitor visa that is for 6 months or extendable. It is only for the duration for which you are presenting your paper here. Now crossing the border with the criminal record. If you have a criminal record, and it will definitely affect your ability and chances to travel to Canada, and every situation is different. So it's not that if you have a criminal record you cannot, but it completely depend on what the situation is. And if the person is a criminal, inadmissible means a certain criteria wherein if you have done this, then you are not at all allowed. Again, you can have the link to it in the description, and it will talk about which crimes are considered to be inadmissible. That means no way, you cannot come here. Then there are 3 potential solutions to overcome inadmissibility: temporary resident, criminal rehabilitation, legal opinion letter. Now what is TRP? Temporary resident permit is if a person is inadmissible, say due to serious criminal reasons, and it has less than 5 years has been passed since the sentence has been completed. Now this is the only option. Temporary resident permit, it can last for a day or up to 3 years. It may be a single use or it can allow multiple entries. Again, all these things that I'm just talking about will be in the description, so if you want to go through it again, if you want to read it again, you can find it. Then we have criminal rehab. Now criminal rehab is a process by which a person who has inadmissible becomes admissible. So unlike a TRP, it is permanent basically. This means that a person does not have to reapply for rehab each time they want to visit Canada. In some cases, a person will apply for what is known as an individual rehab. Now this option is available to people who have completed their sentence, so you do not have to reapply every time. And the last is the legal opinion letter. Now this is a document, of course it is legal, it has to be done by a lawyer, and it explains the client record and its impact, and this letter can argue why a client is not inadmissible, or why the client deserves a TRP or rehab. So a legal opinion letter basically paves a way for you to be a part of TRP or rehab. So it paves the way for either of. So it basically tells you that why your client, or why a client is deserves the right to be admissible in this country on these two grounds. So this is how you can enter Canada for conferences and conventions. I told you the link that you need to apply on, even if you have done some criminal thing and for some reason you were stuck. So I've still given you the ways that you can come here. Please pick your whichever category fits you best, and then you can come to Canada. Again, please follow all the protocols. Yes, the federal government shares the documentations and everything, but every province can have their own health measures. So whichever province you're planning to come in, please check well in advance before coming here, so that you don't nothing goes wrong, or you don't goof up anywhere and then you end up thinking, oh my god, I cannot enter now. So just make sure you follow all the protocols. Even if you're fully vaccinated, please wear your mask all the time, use hand sanitizers, and just take really good care of yourself. Okay, take care, bye.